and queens, it's your girl Kayla DeReese. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, what's good? Happy Wealth Wednesday, everybody. So today for Wealth Wednesday is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to do a little vlogging, and then I'll get into actually doing the video. However, today I'm going to just show you guys how to do a cash envelope budgeting system, two different ways. So if budgeting is something that you struggle with and you need things kind of simplified, we are going to simplify that today. We are going to make it super easy for you all today. This is something that I don't typically do for my personal budget, but I have used cash envelopes before in the beginning stages of my budgeting. So I'm going to take you guys on a little trip with me to the store to get the things that I need. Everything that I purchase will be very inexpensive. You won't need a lot of supplies, obviously, because the whole goal is to save money and stay within your budget. So obviously we don't want to spend a lot of money on the things that we're going to be using for our budget system. Stay tuned. We're going to take a little trip to the store to get a few supplies, and then we'll head back, and then I'll actually show you how to make this. Hey guys, before we take our trip, just make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, tap the notification bell. So don't you miss the days when you could just literally get out of the car and walk inside a store. Totally forgot my mask in the car. Now I gotta go all the way back. It's so annoying. Literally so annoying, because it happens all the time. Alright, that's more like it. More like the new normal. Y'all, I just can't get it together. I just realized I even came in on the wrong side, and now I have to walk on the total opposite side of the store. Yay, but it's okay. It's fine. Y'all, so I'm so lost. I'm not in a Meijer. I'm not in Louisville right now. I'm not at home, so I don't know the store. And this store is totally different from stores back home. So I'm lost, and they have signs, but the signs aren't really matching up with what's in this section. So where's the stationery goods, man? Alright, I'm gonna give myself like 5 minutes to be lost, and then if I can't find what I'm looking for, then I'm gonna ask for help. Alright. I'm just gonna buy this. I don't actually need this many envelopes though. I literally just need one. So that's a waste of money. So I have picked up my envelopes and my accordion style file folder. And now I'm gonna leave. I already have like pens and Sharpie markers and whatnot. However, if you do not, you would need to pick up those things at the store. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out, because these are the only two items that I needed. So let's get to making this. All right, people, so I am back here at the hotel, and we are gonna get this whole cash budgeting system down. So I have two different ways that I want to show you guys. One is not really complex, but it takes a little more preparation and or a couple more steps than the other one. And then the other one is super simple, fewer things that you'll need, and it takes less work. However, they are both effective, and I think they would both work. So it just kind of depends on what your personality is, how you manage your money, and what system works best for you. But before we get started, I kind of want to just go over why budgeting your money using like a cash envelope system is better sometimes. This isn't like me personally. In my earlier years, for sure, I would swipe my card and not really keep track of all the transactions that I was, using my card for. And not everything goes through automatically, obviously. So you have transactions that are pending, that may not, depending on your bank, may not immediately show up on your available balance. So it may confuse you as to how much money you actually have to spend. And the more you keep swiping your card, the more, you can possibly lead into that whole like overdraft and overdraft fees and debt that way. So to avoid all of that, some people prefer to just use cash, not use debit cards, not use credit cards, which is totally fine. I do think if you're trying to build your credit, obviously you will want to get a credit card that will help that, and something that's small with like a low maximum spending limit, but for the purpose of solely budgeting your money, if you are one that loves to swipe your card but you don't keep track of your transactions, cash budgeting envelopes are the way to go. Okay? All right. So my first way that I want to show you guys is just simple way. And this way I actually learned from somebody on social media first. I saw her, I think, on like Instagram. She went viral. Her name is 𝐙𝕠ℎ𝙅, but she also has a YouTube channel as well. She's been on like all kind of talk shows and whatnot. But this lady is like known for her budgeting techniques and how to spend and be like a frugal franny type of person, like with that. So I learned this one envelope technique from 𝐙𝕠ℎ𝙅, and it works, you guys. So what we're gonna do for this one envelope is actually break down our budget into 3 categories. So the categories are gonna be must-haves, lifestyle, and other. So your must-haves are gonna be things like your mortgage, your rent, your car insurance, your health insurance, your car payment, your even your gas. That's gonna be a must-have. What else? Your utilities. Phone bill would be considered must-have, just because for business I have to have my phone. However, for someone who rarely uses their phone, does not have a business, or does not use their phone a lot for however they're making their money, then maybe that can go under lifestyle, because it's more of something that they could go without, if that makes sense. Our lifestyle category, we're gonna have things like groceries, household goods, things that you would typically spend money on often, but you don't really have to have them every single week. If you are really big into fitness, maybe your gym membership or yoga or Pilates membership, if you do cryotherapy, whatever you typically spend on week to week that is not necessarily a must-have, but something that is important to you, I would put under the lifestyle category. And for other, it's pretty much everything else. So all of your optional spending, eating out for restaurants, coffee, grooming. So if you go to get waxed, or you get your hair colored and cut or done, even just going to the beauty shop, or if you're a man and you get your hair cut once a week, then you want to include that in the other category as well. Any luxuries that is not necessarily a necessity, but things that you know are important to you, however you can go without them. Those are the things that's going to go in your other category. So what we're going to do is actually write down those 3 categories on our paper, and you're going to do this once a month. So this month is August, so I'm just going to write August at the top. Now, because I have 3 different categories that I'm doing, which is must-haves, lifestyle, and others, I'm going to make 3 different columns. And y'all, excuse my handwriting, I'm just kind of rushing through this. And okay, so one thing that I learned from when 𝐙𝕠ℎ𝙅 was doing this, she said she would suggest giving yourself $100 per person per month for each category, right? Well, because I live alone and I'm the only person that I have to take care of, it's going to be super simple for me to do. Because I know that not everybody lives by themselves or only has to pay for themselves and you guys actually have families, I'm going to base my example off of a family of 3. So for your must-haves, obviously, that's going to be all of your bills. So I'm not even going to fill out the must-haves category because you'll want to actually total up how much money you spend on each bill monthly, and that's how much money you'll actually need to have in the envelope for that month, if that makes sense. So that's a different budgeting step. However, just don't forget that you still need to write out, rent or mortgage, car payment, car insurance, health insurance, utilities, everything, electricity, blah, 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 blah. So all of those things. However, I'm just going to focus on the lifestyle and other, and we're going to act as if there is a family of 3. So for lifestyle, which is mainly like our grocery shopping, our household needs, and things like that, we're going to start out with $100 per person per month. So that would be $300 for groceries and also $300 for your others, your luxuries, things like that. So that's $600 total, okay? All right, so if we have $300 per person per month, and we don't want to look at the full $300 because obviously if I give you $300, you might end up spending that full $300 immediately, yeah? So we want to break it down, and we need it to last for 4 weeks, yeah? So dividing that $300 by 4 weeks is going to be about $75 per week. So you want to try and keep your goal for shopping, for groceries, and pretty much your household needs in $75 per week. That way that you don't go over your budget. So all I'm going to do is add $75 to my envelope so that you can see there. That's how much I have to start out with. Then I'm going to break my envelope into 4 sections for each week. Again, ignore the fact that I don't have straight lines. I'm just trying to do this very quickly. So I'm going to break it up into 4 weeks. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. Bam. Now, you can go a step further and actually write the dates of that week down, or you can just leave it like this. I'm going to just leave it like this for now. Again, $300 total per category, yeah, for lifestyle and other, but trying to stay within the $75 per week. So what we're going to do is just put our money into our envelope. Bam. Keep this, ladies, keep this in your purse. Fold it up if you need to, like fold it down to a smaller size. If you have the smaller envelopes, that'll work as well. Keep it wherever you keep your wallet. That way when you go to the grocery store, you go shopping, or you go wherever you need to go and you go shopping and you pull out your money and they give you your total, you can write down your transaction amount. And so say for instance, I go to buy toiletries or something, and I only spend $17. So I'm going to write 17. I'm going to subtract $17 from my lifestyle, because remember, that's like household goods. If I decide to go grocery shopping in that same day and I spend, $32. If you can keep your shopping down to once a week, that would be perfect, because at least all right, I went shopping this one time. This is all I spent. I know I did not go over my budget. It makes it much easier that way. So if I spent, my 17 on toiletries and my 32 on groceries, and that's all I spent for the week out of that category, then all I'm going to do is then subtract that from the 75, which is going to equal $26 left over. Yeah, with that $26, either you can put it away, save it for, put it in your savings, put it up for a rainy day, or you can spend it on something that you want, like treat yourself with something. Totally up to you. However, just know that you will not always have money left over. Sometimes you will actually spend too much money. And let's say, for instance, in our other category, which can be eating out, okay? So let's say, for instance, we prior to, you know, the world. Say, for instance, we go out to dinner and we go out for a movie. So the movie is going to cost us probably about $27, just because movies are expensive, and I'm just throwing a number out there. But then going out to dinner, you might spend $60. Yeah? Boom. Now where does that leave us? It leaves you at negative $12. So in this case, my suggestion would be to borrow. One thing that I did learn from Miss Jordan Page is to never take money from the next week, because you may really need that money from the next week. But if you tend to have money left over in a different category, it's better to use that money from that same week. So if that's the case and you went over your budget a little bit for the $12, you're going to want to take it from your lifestyle category. So bottom line, it's okay in this situation if you're using the one envelope and if this works better for you, then it is okay to borrow money from another category if it's within the same week. If it's not going to be within the same week, then it may not work, and it could cause you more problems down the line, and then you're going to continue to borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow, and then you're still going to be left short. All right, so guys, that is just the first way that you can budget your money. Obviously, by the end of the month, this entire thing will be filled up with how you spent your money, and hopefully you'll have some money left over versus, you know, not being able to cover everything that you need to cover. That is one cash envelope budgeting system. Now we're going to move on to a different system, which I would actually prefer if I were still using a cash envelope system. For my next example of an envelope system for your cash budgeting is actually going to call for you to have an accordion style file, a little file folder. This one was purchased at Meijer, as you saw earlier in the video, and I believe I spent like $5.99. It was very overpriced. Do not do that. Meijer was just the closest place that I could go to in a short amount of time, because this video kind of came about out of nowhere and wasn't quite expecting to do it. So what it is it's just a little accordion. You see the little different folder pockets in here. Yeah, so we're just going to build this together. Yeah, it has 12 pockets, and then it also has this little clip so that you can close it and nothing will fall out, which I love. And it also comes with these tabs so that you can label all of your files. What is easiest about this system is that you can go to the bank once a month, get all the money out that you need. If you can, it just depends on what your personal finances are, but you may be able to go to the bank, you know, once a month, whether it's at the beginning or the end, however you kind of have your finances set up, and withdraw the total amount of money that you would need for each of your categories. So for all of my categories that I'm gonna do, right, so I have 5 different categories: living expenses, groceries, optional spending, entertainment, and gas. And all I'm gonna do is put those tabs on my little file. Because my living expenses is the most important, because that's going to be my rent or mortgage, my car payment, my insurance, my health insurance, my any of my bills that are necessary. That's number 1. So I'm going to put that in the very front. And I'm going to kind of organize this in an order of priority to optional. So groceries is going to come second, because I got to eat. Next, I'm going to put gas, entertainment. Actually, no, I'm not going to put entertainment next. I'm going to put entertainment last, because it's basically optional. It should look like that when you are finished. Obviously, I'm not going to fill up all of my tabs, just because I don't need all of them right now. All right, guys, so what I like about the accordion style cash envelope system is that you would basically already have all the money that you need, all the cash that you need right there for the entire month, except you would keep this in somewhere in your household that is like a secure spot. Obviously, you don't want to carry this around everywhere that you go. It's not even safe to carry this around everywhere that you go. But it just makes it easier. If you have this put up in somewhere safe and you know that you're going, say for instance, you are going to the grocery store, but you know that you only need, you know, these 12 items, and it should roughly cost you $75. Just go grab the $75 out of this little thing, put it back, go to the grocery store. That way you're not just spending money at the store that you don't need to spend. If you are like me, I don't like to spend money. I do not like to waste money. However, when I go grocery shopping, I get happy when it comes to just like buying food. And next thing you know, I go in for one thing and I come out with like 15. So that's why it's very good to go in with a set list. If you're meal prepping, especially, go in with a set list of things that you need, already have the cash that you need, and only stick to those things. So that's why I like this system a little bit better, because you don't have to carry this around with you. You're not even urged to make those impulse purchases. So, or even to borrow from another category. So, you know, if you're able to maybe set up your bills to where they all come out at a certain time of the month, like around the same time, so that you can withdraw all of your money that you need for this at a certain time, then I would do that. Just because to me, this way is just a little bit simpler than this way. And depending on the individual, this way can get a little tricky if you start to borrow money from, you know, one category to the next, or if you actually do borrow from the next week, then it can just be a mess. So it just depends on you personally. Both systems work. Preferably, I would recommend this one though. And then all you have to do when you go to take the money out, obviously, see however much that you need to take out. Boom, your money's there. Let's go to the grocery store. Simple as that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you for this Wealth Wednesday. Thank you for joining me on my very first Wealth Wednesday vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you back for the next one.